All right, let's talk about something I find absolutely fascinating, the uniquely British art of the polite insult. It's this incredible skill, born from a culture that just can't stand being rude to your face. So let's just dive right in.
I mean, think about it. How do you actually do that? How do you let someone know that you think they're, well, a bit clueless without causing a big scene? Well, the answer is in this amazing creative collection of backhanded compliments and idioms. And this quote right here just nails it. It's not really about just being nice. It's this deep down cultural thing to avoid confrontation no matter what. But that doesn't mean the insults just vanish. Oh no, they just get sneakier, hiding out in the open as these perfectly harmless little phrases.
Okay, so let's kick things off with our first category. I'm calling these the idioms of incompleteness. They all have this clever little way of suggesting that, the person is missing a pretty important piece of the puzzle upstairs.
Ah, an absolute classic. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. It sounds so gentle, doesn't it? Almost friendly. But make no mistake, the meaning is razor sharp. You're saying they're just not that bright. And it's the perfect setup for our first story.
So imagine this scenario. You're in a nice hotel in Berlin, right? You try to use the hairdryer, nothing. So you call room service. They bring you a new one. Still nothing. A third one is brought up, and finally, the staff gently points out that none of the electricity in the room works until you put the key card in the little slot by the door. Yeah, in that moment, you definitely feel like you weren't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Okay, next up, we've got one that I just love for its pure whimsy. To be one sandwich short of a picnic. It just creates this image of a perfect day out, but something's just a little bit off. Something vital is missing from the basket.
This is the kind of phrase that's just perfect for those moments of total misunderstanding. Like, imagine a plumber asks you to send him a picture of the trap under your sink. You go look, and what do you find? An actual mousetrap. So you snap a picture, send it over, feeling quite pleased with yourself, only for him to text back, haha, I meant the U-bend water pipe. Yep, a definite one sandwich short of a picnic moment. And I love this. It shows you how the same idea gets a completely different flavor depending on where you are. The British version, it's a quaint little scene in the countryside. The American one, straight out of a fast food joint. Totally different images, but exactly the same meaning. It's brilliant.
Now this next one, to not be a full ticket, kind of raises the stakes a bit. It suggests it's not just about being a bit slow, but maybe that someone is acting, well, a little irrationally. The source we looked at even warns to be a bit careful with this one, because it can hit a little harder.
Just think about being on holiday in Portugal. There's one of those flimsy mosquito net doors, and you walk right through it. Okay, fine. But then you do it again. And then a third time. It gets so bad that your grandparents have to put little stickers on it, just for you, which, by the way, are still there years later. That is a prime example of a not the full ticket situation. All right, for our next group of insults, we're shifting gears a little. We're moving from the idea that something's missing to the idea that, well, there's nothing really there at all. The lights are on, but you get the picture.
Okay, we're not messing around with this one. There's not much between the ears. It's about as blunt as you can get, really. It's basically a very direct observation suggesting a whole lot of empty space where a brain is supposed to be.
And this phrase perfectly captures those moments of truly terrible logic. Like, say you're stuck at a violin camp you absolutely hate. You come up with this genius plan to gently hurt your finger in a heavy door so you'll get sent home. But before you can do your little planned tap, someone else bursts through the door, completely crushes your finger for real, and you end up in the hospital. A truly awful plan, conceived by a mind that maybe didn't have much between the ears at that particular moment.
Here's another all-time classic. A fantastic visual metaphor. Everything on the outside looks fine. The lights are on. But you knock on the door of their mind and you just hear echoes. It's this perfect description of someone who's just completely vacant or checked out. Can't you just picture this? You're 9 years old, you're trying to look cool in front of the little kids, so you take this grand leap off a wooden playground castle, only to get the back of your sweater snagged on a bit of wood, leaving you just dangling there, totally helpless, until a 6-year-old has to go get your dad to rescue you. That is the very definition of a lights on, but nobody's home moment.
Ooh, this one is just dripping with sarcasm. It's a throwback to the old and thankfully very outdated idea of a village idiot. The insult is that this person is so unbelievably stupid, they must be the official idiot for an entire town, and they've just wandered off and gotten lost. It's brutal.
And the story for this one, oh my gosh, it is a spectacular disaster. You've just passed your driving test, right? 2 days in, you pick up your brand new car. You drive it, maybe 100 meters. You stall it at a roundabout, panic, slam it into reverse, and crash right into the person behind you. To top it all off, the police get called, and your own mum is watching the whole thing happening from 2 cars back. Yeah, on that day you might just feel like a certain village was indeed missing its idiot.
And now, we've arrived at our final insult. And you can really feel the politeness starting to wear thin here. We're getting about as direct and blunt as you can be while still, technically using an idiom. As thick as a plank. It's simple, it's common, and it's just so effective. There is absolutely no beating around the bush with this one. You are literally comparing someone's intelligence to a dense, solid, unthinking block of wood.
And this last story is the ultimate cautionary tale of thick as a plank logic. So you're 12. You find a phone on the bus with some, let's just say, questionable videos on it. And you think it would be hilarious to send them to your best friend as a joke. But the joke backfires big time. Your friend tells the headmistress, the police get called to the school, and you have to spend the entire day trying to explain your hilarious prank to actual police officers. That right there is a truly thick as a plank move.
So, after all that, we land on this question. Is this whole song and dance actually better? Is hiding an insult inside a clever phrase a more civilized, maybe even a kinder way of communicating? Or is it really just a sneaky, dishonest way to avoid saying what you truly mean? It really makes you wonder where you draw the line between being polite and just being honest.